Today, I guess everyone is having a problem with the bad weather, right? Uh, Many of you are messaging me saying that you have bad weather and unable to switch on the video. I totally understand. Even I'm having very bad weather today. Uh, so the ones who cannot switch on should switch on the video. That's totally okay. Now, anyways, when I'm also going for recording, now since Lasandi is not there, I will have to record the meeting. She didn't inform that she's not taking part, but however, she's not there in class, right? So even if she comes a little bit late, until then I will have to record. So, and since there is a weather issue, better to record the class today because some of you will have network issues, right? Yeah, so I'm recording the class today. So in that case, if there is a difficulty for me also when it comes to the network, I will put myself on, I will keep my video off. So I hope you all understand the situation. Even you all message me saying that you have a situation like this. So I also have a situation like that. It's raining, like it's bad, like it's actually quite bad weather because of the wind, I think, not because of the rain. So previously in the morning also I've got some signal drops. So let's see how it works. Okay. So shall we start the class?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So most probably to keep the recording clear, I might also keep my video off. Okay. Because I think since Lasandi is not there and since most of you are having signal issues, there's a high chance that you will need the recording. Maybe some of you might need it. So I will record the class today. Okay. We have a continuation of the fourth lesson, right? We didn't complete the fourth lesson, no?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, we
Yes.
have to complete that and then move on to the fifth one. Okay. Let's have a look at the fourth lesson. So we'll be starting from
Recording in progress.
We'll be starting from talking about your likes and dislikes in Unit 4. And then we'll be moving on how to fill a form in French. And then we'll be moving on to the fifth lesson. And I'll be covering verb half particle. Okay. So in today's lesson, we are going to learn how to talk about your likes and dislikes, how to speak about your likes and dislikes. So as beginners, okay, later when you move on to other lessons in A1, you will find more words where you can learn how to talk about your likes and dislikes. Okay, now we are going to learn 4 verbs. Actually, there are 3 verbs here. One verb in the negative form, 3 verbs, and 1 verb in the negative form. So altogether, it's going to be 4 conjugations that we are going to study today. So the first verb is adorer, to laugh. And the second verb is aimer, to like. And the third verb is détester, to hate. And the fourth verb is ne pas aimer, that is not to like. Okay, so let's go part by part. I will teach you. Now, in our 7th lesson, we are going to learn how to conjugate in the sense, how to form these verbs accordingly. Until then, I'm not going to teach you the formation rules because you might get confused. But let me take you through the subject pronouns first. In French, these are subject pronouns. Okay, these are the subject pronouns. We call them les pronoms sujets. Can you pronounce it? Les pronoms sujets.
Le pronom sushi.
Sushi, sushi.
Sushi.
Yes. Les pronoms sushi. Okay. Now, some of you asked me for permission to keep your video off. I understand we all have network issues today because it's bad weather, but you can't stay on mute. Okay. Now, some of you are sick. Some have messaged me and got themselves excused. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the others. Okay. So you can't keep yourself on mute while the class is working on pronunciation. Okay. That's not acceptable. Okay. All right. Les pronoms sujet. Les pronoms sujet. Les pronoms sujet. Situmi, Prasdonia, you all will have to pronounce. Okay. Now, if you all are not doing it, I will take your names in class. Can't help. Okay. Les pronoms sujet.
Le pronom sushi. Sushi.
Sujet.
Sushi.
It's a je sound. Sujet. Les
Le
pronoms,
pronom sushi.
les pronoms sujet. Okay. So, in French, we have an order for the personal pronouns, these pronouns, subject pronouns. Okay. So, the first pronoun is je. Je means I. Je.
Je.
Okay. Je means I. The second one is tu. Tu is already. Tu is you. Tu.
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 Then we have il. Il means he.
Il.
Okay. Then we have elle.
El.
Elle.
El.
Elle means she. Okay. Then nous. Nous.
Nu.
Nous means we. Okay. Nous means we. Then we have vous. Vous.
Vous.
You know, right? Vous is you, and it is used for formal context. Okay. Then we have two words for they. Il, elle.
El.
Elle.
Il. El.
Il, elle. Okay, so let me take you through the whole the such pronouns. Now, normally when we do a conjugation, that means when you match a verb according to a subject pronoun and write the full form, you call it a declension. That means you write the first person singular, first person plural, second person singular, second person plural, third person singular, and third person plural. You might have studied this in English, right? Now, when it comes to les pronoms sujets in French, we don't write them according to the way that we write in English. There is a separate order. This is the order. First comes je is I, tu, you, second person singular form. Then il, elle, third person singular form. Nous, first we list down the singular forms in French. Then we list down the plural forms. That's how it works. Okay. So nous means we, which is the first person plural form. Vous, that's you, that is the second person plural form. It could be even singular in French. Then we have il, elle. Okay. Now this is not sounded as ils or else. Okay. This is sounded as il, elle. Okay. That is because this is the last consonant is not sounded. So now you must be wondering, the third person singular form is also in, the third person plural form is also in. How are we going to differentiate from the verb conjugation's pronunciation? You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And even L, it's the same pronunciation. L is she, and L could be they as well. Okay. Now, how are we to use il and L separately? Now, if it is a set of males, then we use il as they. Okay. If it is a set of females, we use L as they. What if it's a mixed crowd? Then we use il. Okay. Is this clear with you? Is this clear with everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So then I'll be moving on to talking about likes and dislikes. So I'll be moving on to the first verb. Okay. The first verb. The first verb is adore. Adore.
Adore.
Adore.
Adore. Adore means to love. To love. Adore. Okay.
Adore.
Adore. So this is present tense. What we are going to do is we are going to take this verb, adore, a non-conjugated verb. Conjugation means you match this name of the verb according to the subject pronoun. Now, it's like this. Now, let's say in English, you say, I have, you have, he has. The verb is have, but you change it according to the subject pronoun, right? So that is called a conjugation. So this is a present tense conjugation. Okay. So what we do is we match the verb according to the subject pronouns je, tu, il, nous, vous, il, elle. Okay. So if you want to say I love, we don't put je with the vowel because je ends with a vowel and the verb adorer starts with a vowel. So in French, the rule is that two vowels can't stand together. Okay, but for the tu form, it's an exception. For L also, it's an exception. For je, you have to cut off the E and add an apostrophe if the verb starts with a vowel. So if you want to say I love, okay, if you want to say I love, we say j'adore, j'adore,
J'adore.
J'adore.
j'adore,
J'adore.
j'adore. Now, everyone except for the Jason have to pronounce, okay? Others, please pronounce. I will take the pronunciation individually also. J'adore, j'adore, j'adore,
J'adore.
J'adore.
j'adore. J'adore means I love, okay? Next one, if you want to say you love, it's tu adores, tu adores,
Tu adores.
J'adore.
tu adores,
Tu
tu
adores.
adores, tu adores.
Tu adores.
Tu adore. Tu adore means you love. Okay. If you want to say he loves or she loves, il adore, elle adore.
Il adore.
Adore. Elle adore.
Il adore.
If you want to say we love, nous adorons.
Nous adorons.
Nous adorons. Nous adorons. Now
Nous
what happens? Nous is separate
Adorons.
as nous, but with adorons, you have to connect it. You have to do liaison. Nous adorons. Nous adorons.
nous adorons.
We love. Okay. If you want to say you love in the vous form, vous adorez. Vous adorez.
Vous adorez.
You love. Okay. Ils adorent. Elles adorent. Ils adorent. Elles
Ils
adorent.
adorent. Elles adorent.
Others pronounce with me. Ils adorent. Elles adorent.
Ils adorent. Elles adorent.
That is they love. Okay. So once again, you pronounce with me, then I'll be taking the pronunciation individual. I will be randomly asking any of you. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you tell about news adore? Can you explain once again?
Yeah, we are pronouncing it once again, the full one. So you also can pronounce with us. Okay, don't keep yourself on mute. All right.
Okay, sure.
Adorer. Adorer.
Adore.
Adore. Adore.
J'adore.
J'adore.
Adore.
Tu adores.
To adore. To adore.
Il adore. Elle adore.
Il adore.
Adore. El
Il adore. Il adore.
It's not adore, it's adore. Adore.
adore.
Adore.
Not adore, it's adore. Adore.
Adore.
Okay.
Adore. Adore.
Nous adorons. Nous adorons.
Nous adorons. Nous
Nous
adorons.
adorons. It's an art. Nous adorons.
Nous adorons.
Nous
Adorons. The last S is not sounded. Over here, it's zadorons. Nous adorons. It's a Z sound. Nous adorons.
Nous adorons. Nous adorons.
Nous adorons.
Nous
Nous adorons. Nous adorons.
Vous adorez. Vous adorez.
vous adorez.
Nous adorons.
That is you love. Okay. Ils adorent. Elles adorent.
Ils adorent.
Ils adorent. Ils adorent.
Okay. So, j'adore. I love. Tu adores. You love. Il adore. Elle adore. He loves. She loves. Nous adorons. We love. Vous adorez. You love. Ils adorent. Elles adorent. They love. Okay. Lasandi, can you read
love.
it?
J'adore. Tu adores. Il adore. Elle adore. Nous adorons. Vous adorez. Ils adorent. Elles adorent.
Good job. How about Situmi?
J'adore, tu adores,
No, tu adores.
tu adores, il adore, elle adore, nous adorons, vous adorez, ils adorent, elles adorent.
No, it's ils adorent. Elles adorent. ENT is not sounded. Ils adorent. Elles adorent. Pronounce it once again. Ils adorent. Elles adorent.
Elles adorent.
Okay. So the next one, the other two will pronounce. Okay. So the next word is aimer. Aimer.
Aimer.
Aimer. Aimer. Pronounce it, please. Aimer.
Ini.
Aimer. Aimer.
Ini.
Aimer. Okay. Aimer.
Ini.
Yes. Aimer means to like. Okay. Aimer means to like. So this is also something positive, no? Talking about your likes. Okay. So if you want to say I like, it's j'aime. J'aime.
J'aime.
J'aime.
Shame.
Okay. So just like adorer, aimer also starts with a vowel. Therefore, J has, no, when you write sh, J-E has to take, the last E has to be taken off, and you have to add an apostrophe so that the pronunciation becomes j'aime, not je aime. Okay? J'aime.
Shame.
Okay? Right. Then the next one, if you want to say you like, it's tu aimes. Tu aimes.
Children.
Tu aimes.
Children.
Okay. And if you want to say he likes, she likes, il aime, elle aime.
Il aime. Elle aime.
Il aime, elle aime. Then if you want to say we like, nous aimons, nous aimons.
Nous aimons.
Nous aimons means we like, nous aimons. Okay.
Nous aimons.
Are you all also having heavy winds in your area?
Not here.
No,
Not here.
not yet.
Yeah, not yet. It's still raining.
Okay. I thought it's the same for everyone. It's like heavy winds here. Like it's quite windy. I see some coconut trees going like here and there and looks scary. Stormy. Okay. Nous aimons,
Nous aimons.
vous aimez,
Vous
Vous
aimez.
aimez.
ils aiment, elles aiment.
Elsa. Elsa.
Ils aiment, elles aiment. Okay. Once again, aimer,
Aimer.
Aimer.
j'aime,
J'aime.
J'aime.
I like, tu aimes,
Tu aimes.
you like,
Tu aimes.
il aime, elle aime.
Il aime.
Elle
Elle
aime.
aime.
Il aime. Elle aime.
He likes, she likes. Okay. Nous aimons,
Nous aimons.
Nous aimons.
we like. Vous aimez,
Vous aimez.
you like. Ils aiment, elles aiment.
Ils aiment. Elles aiment.
They like.
Ils aiment. Elle aime.
Okay. So is that clear? Is verb aimé clear with everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Amal,
Yes.
can you pronounce verb aimé, the full conjugation?
Okay, man. Aimer. J'aime. Tu aimes. Il aime. Elle aime. Nous aimons. Vous aimez. Ils aiment. Elles aiment.
Good job. Prastonia,
Yes, ma'am. Aimer. J'aime. Tu aimes. Il aime. Elle aime. Nous aimons. Vous aimez. Ils aiment. Elles aiment.
good job. Okay. So I hope Amy is okay with you. Now Amy is to like. Okay. Now the verb that I'm going to teach you is the negative form of verb aiming. Okay. The negative form of verb aiming. Don't worry. Next time when we do the present tense conjugations, I will teach you how to put a verb into the negative form. Okay. But let me give a brief idea about how we put into the negative form. How do we say not in French? Okay. Now we have two negations called ne and pas. Okay, ne pas, meaning is not. Meaning is not. Okay, when you put this two negation formations on the either sides of the verb, okay, that means ne before the verb, pa after the verb on the either sides of the conjugated verb, the verb becomes negative. Okay, for an example, now I have j'aime, right? This is my verb conjugation, my affirmative conjugation. Affirmative means positive. Okay, so j'aime means I like. Okay, now I can't, if I don't like, I have to say I don't like, right? So how am I going to put this formation into the negative form? If the verb starts with a vowel instead of ne, I will use an apostrophe and part. If the verb starts with a consonant, I will use ne. Okay. So what do? I will put an apostrophe in front of the verb and pa after the verb. So that is exactly what I have done over here in the negative form. Can you see? An apostrophe is in front of the verb and pa is after the verb. Again, in the tu form, it's the same until il and el. Did you notice that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
madam.
So if you want to say not, the negation form is ne pas. You put it on the either sides of the verb. If the verb starts with a vowel, you add an apostrophe and pa. Okay. So if you want to say I don't like, this is how we say it. Ne pas aime. Oh, sorry, like the negative form of the verb is ne pas aime. Ne pas aimer. Ne pas aimer.
Ne pas aimer. Ne pas aimer.
Aimer. Okay. Je n'aime pas.
Je n'aime pas.
Je n'aime pas means I don't like. Je n'aime pas. Okay. Tu n'aimes pas.
Tu n'aimes
N'aime pas.
Tunempa.
Tunepa.
Tunempa. When you say tunepa, that is another verb. Tunempa. Tunempa. Okay?
Tunepa.
Tunempa. Tunempa. Okay? Ilnempa. Elnempa.
일냄파 엘
El nempa, el nempa.
Okay, that is he doesn't like, she doesn't like. Okay? Nu nemo pa. Nu nemo pa.
Nunemopa.
Nunemopa.
Nu nemo pa.
Nunemopa.
Nu nemo pa means we don't like. Nu nemo pa. Okay? Next one is vu neme pa.
Vunemepa.
You don't like. Okay? Then we have il name pa, el name pa.
일냄파 엘냄파
Okay? So they don't like. Il name pa means they don't like. Okay? So once again, let's pronounce je n'aime pas,
이ж냄파
tu n'aimes pas,
일냄파
Inepa.
Tu nempa,
il n'aime pas, elle n'aime pas,
Ilnempa. Elpa.
el nempa, el nempa.
nous n'aimons pas,
Nunemopa.
Nunemopa.
vous n'aimez pas,
Vunemepa.
Vu
il n'aime pas, elle n'aime.
일냄파
Ilnempa.
el nempa, el nempa.
Okay. Now, are we going to move on to the next verb? Are you clear with nafazimi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then the next word, which is in purple color, that's deteste. Deteste.
Detest.
Deteste.
Detest.
Deteste means to hate. Okay. Deteste means to hate. Okay. So if you want to say I hate, it's je déteste.
You did it.
Je déteste.
You did it.
You.
I hate. Then if you want to say you hate, it's tu déteste.
히우데테스
If you want to say
You
he,
did it.
tu déteste. If you want to say he hates or she hates, il déteste, elle déteste.
히우데테스 엘데테스
He hates, she hates. Then the new form, if you want to say we hate, it's nous détestons.
누데테스타
Nous détestons means we hate, nous détestons. Okay? And if you want to say you hate, it's vous détestez.
무데테스
Say.
Vous
Hey.
détestez. Okay? You hate. Il déteste, elle déteste.
Il did it.
엘데테스
They hate. Okay? Once again, let's pronounce. Détester,
Deteste.
je déteste,
You detest.
tu détestes,
You detest.
il déteste, elle déteste.
엘데테스
Detest.
엘데테스
You detest.
El
Nous détestons,
Nous detestons.
detestons.
vous détestez,
Vous
Vous
detestez.
detestez.
il déteste, elle déteste.
Il detest. Elle detest.
El deteste.
Now we've studied verb adore, verb aimer, verb nefazeme, verb detester. Now it's just the verb. Now how can I say I love the rain or I hate the rain? Okay, how do I use adore, aimer, deteste plus a noun? Now can you remember last week we learned article défini? What is article défini? Last week we learned?
드 르랄레
Yes, lale, very good. So le, la, le, we use le in front of a masculine singular noun, then la in front of a feminine singular noun, L apostrophe in front of a noun which is starting with the vowel, which could be either masculine or feminine singular. Then we use le in front of either masculine or feminine plural nouns. So we know le, la, L apostrophe and le. Now, why do we use article defini with the adoreme, deteste, and nefazime and not article and defini? That is because our likes and dislikes are specific, right? What Mali likes is what she likes. It's specific, okay? And what Lasandi likes is what she likes. It's the preferences are specific. So therefore, we use article defini. So how do we make sentences? Imi, adore, nefazime, or deteste, plus le, la, L apostrophe, or le, plus the noun. This is what we do. Is this clear with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let's move on to the examples. Okay, now last week we learned quite a few words, right? So here also we have some words. Okay, now I have given an example over here. I've given shame. Okay, I've given shame. I like. Okay, but you can change it to je déteste or je n'aime pas, or j'adore. Okay, or il adore, nous aimons, vous adorez, anything. Okay, the conjugation plus le, la, les plus the noun. So I've given some examples here. J'aime les chiens. J'aime les chiens. J'aime les chiens.
Le chien.
J'aime les chiens means I love or I like dogs. Next one. J'aime les animaux. Pronounce it me.
J'aime les animaux.
Les animaux.
J'aime les animaux. I
I
like
like
animals. J'aime la musique.
J'aime music.
I like music.
Yes, I like music. J'aime la danse.
J'aime la danse.
J'aime la danse.
I like dancing.
I like dance.
J'aime la lecture.
J'aime la lecture.
J'aime le jardinage. I'm sorry. J'aime la lecture means I like reading. Lecture means reading. La lecture.
Reading.
Reading. Okay. J'aime le jardinage.
J'aime le jardin.
Jardinage. Jardinage.
Jardinage.
Jardin.
Dinner.
I like gardening. Okay, next one. J'aime la cuisine française.
J'aime la
La cuisine française.
cooking. I like cooking.
I like French cuisine. I like French food. Okay. J'aime le sport.
J'aime le sport. Sport.
J'aime le sport means I like sports. Next one. J'aime la pluie.
J'aime la pluie.
J'aime la pluie. Okay. I like the rain. J'aime les vacances.
J'aime les
Les vacances.
Les
I
vacances.
like
Holiday.
vacation.
Yes, I like vacations. J'aime les études.
J'aime les doutes.
J'aime les études. Il y a le liaison. J'aime les études.
J'aime les
J'aime les études.
I like studies. J'aime les jeux vidéo.
J'aime les
J'aime les jeux vidéo.
I like video games. J'aime le foot.
J'aime le foot.
J'aime le foot.
I like football. Okay. Next one, j'aime les films.
j'aime les films.
J'aime les films.
I like movies. Okay.
I like
J'aime les romans.
j'aime les romans.
I like novels. Now, this is not romance, huh? I like novels.
No.
So, for the time being, you can only use j'aime, je déteste, or not je, the full conjugation of verb aimer, détester, adorer, adorer, ne pas aimer, and détester. These are the few verbs for the time being you can use with le, la, les plus the noun. Okay. Now, just like in English, we can say I like to do, I like to sing, like that. I like to plus another verb. But for the time being, you don't know the other words. So you can't make sentences from that way. So you will have to make whatever you like, hate, or you don't like, plus le, la, les, plus the noun. You understood?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll play a video for you which speaks about likes and dislikes. It has both the ways, but you can have a look. Okay. Then after that, I'm going to put you for some speaking group work. Okay, I told you, this class is having a lot of speaking tasks as well. Okay, all right. Have a look at this. Can you see the screen?
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Bienvenue sur cette capsule vidéo. Comment exprimer ses goûts et ses préférences en français. Prêt? Allez, c'est parti. J'aime. J'aime bien. J'aime beaucoup. J'aime trop. J'adore. Je n'aime pas. Je n'aime pas trop. Je n'aime pas du tout. Je déteste. J'aime la France. J'aime la lecture. J'aime la lecture. Je déteste la pluie. Ils aiment beaucoup la musique. J'adore le fromage. J'aime le coca. J'aime beaucoup le skate. Je déteste l'oignon. J'aime le thé, mais je préfère le café. J'adore les carottes. J'aime beaucoup les fleurs. Moi, j'aime beaucoup les cadeaux. J'aime les jeux vidéo. Je n'aime pas les gâteaux. Moi, j'aime trop. Ils aiment les pique-niques. Après les verbes aimer, adorer, détester, préférer, on ajoute
For the moment, don't worry about préférer because that has a different conjugation. So that's why it's not taught to you. Okay, préférer means to prefer. You will learn it very soon.
le devant un nom masculin singulier, la devant un nom féminin singulier, les devant un nom pluriel. J'aime cuisiner. J'adore chanter. J'adore faire du shopping.
Now this part wasn't taught to you. I told you, you can use the verb plus another verb. Okay. For the moment, you don't know the verb, so that's why it's not taught to you. You will learn that very soon.
J'aime lire. On aime faire du vélo. J'aime voyager. Ils aiment prendre des photos. J'aime jouer de la guitare. J'aime jouer aux échecs. Après les verbes aimer, adorer, détester, préférer, on ajoute un verbe à l'infinitif. À retenir, pour parler de ses goûts et de ses préférences, on emploie les verbes suivants. Aimer, ne pas aimer, détester, adorer. Par exemple, j'aime le café, j'aime le cinéma, j'aime le sport, j'aime la musique, j'aime la France, j'aime l'été, j'aime les bonbons, j'aime les vacances. Maintenant avec un verbe à l'infinitif, par exemple, j'aime chanter, j'aime lire, j'aime voyager, j'aime manger, j'aime écouter de la musique, j'aime aller au cinéma, j'aime regarder des films. Au revoir les amis.
Play it once again.
Bienvenue sur cette capsule vidéo. Comment exprimer ses goûts et ses préférences en français. Prêt? Allez, c'est parti! J'aime. J'aime bien. J'aime beaucoup. J'aime trop. J'adore. Je n'aime pas. Je n'aime pas trop. Je n'aime pas du tout. Je déteste. J'aime la France. J'aime la lecture. J'aime la lecture. Je déteste la pluie. Ils aiment beaucoup la musique. J'adore le fromage. J'aime le coca. J'aime beaucoup le skate. Je déteste l'oignon. J'aime le thé, mais je préfère le café. J'adore les carottes. J'aime beaucoup les fleurs. Moi, j'aime beaucoup les cadeaux. J'aime les jeux vidéo. Je n'aime pas les gâteaux. Moi, j'aime trop. Ils aiment les pique-niques. Après les verbes aimer, adorer, détester, préférer, on ajoute le devant un nom masculin singulier, la devant un nom féminin singulier, les devant un nom pluriel. J'aime cuisiner. J'adore chanter. J'adore faire du shopping. J'aime lire. On aime faire du vélo. J'aime voyager. Ils aiment prendre des photos. J'aime jouer de la guitare. J'aime jouer aux échecs. Après les verbes aimer, adorer, détester, préférer, on ajoute un verbe à l'infinitif. À retenir, pour parler de ses goûts et de ses préférences, on emploie les verbes suivants. Aimer, ne pas aimer, détester, adorer. Par exemple, j'aime le café, j'aime le cinéma, j'aime le sport, j'aime la musique, j'aime la France, j'aime l'été, j'aime les bonbons, j'aime les vacances. Maintenant avec un verbe à l'infinitif, par exemple, j'aime chanter, j'aime lire, j'aime voyager, j'aime manger, j'aime écouter de la musique, j'aime aller au cinéma, j'aime regarder des films. Au revoir les amis, à la prochaine!
Pilihan දෙන පහතලින් ඉන් කොටසම
That's another video that I want you to watch in a minute.
Bonjour à tous! Aujourd'hui,
Can you see the screen?
Yes, Vani.
on va voir comment exprimer ses goûts alimentaires. Prêt? Allez, c'est parti! J'aime. J'aime la banane. J'aime les carottes. J'aime les ananas. J'aime les oranges. J'aime les fraises. J'aime le chocolat. J'aime les pommes. J'aime les glaces. J'aime la pêche. J'aime la pêche. J'aime les abricots. Je n'aime pas. Je n'aime pas les bonbons. Je n'aime pas le brocoli. Je n'aime pas la salade. Je n'aime pas le poisson. Je n'aime pas les oignons. Je n'aime pas les tomates. Je n'aime pas les tomates. J'adore, j'adore. J'adore la pastèque. J'adore la mangue. J'adore la mangue. J'adore les raisins. J'adore les cerises. Les cerises. Je déteste, je déteste. Je déteste le citron. Je déteste le citron. Je déteste l'ail. Je déteste l'ail. Je déteste les aubergines. Je déteste le piment. Le piment. Je déteste les haricots. Les haricots. Je déteste les haricots. Je déteste le radis. Le radis. Je déteste le radis. Après les verbes, aimer, adorer, détester, préférer, on ajoute le devant un nom masculin singulier, la devant un nom féminin singulier, les devant un nom pluriel. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui les amis. Merci. Aujourd'hui, on va voir comment exprimer ses goûts alimentaires. Prêt? Allez, c'est parti! J'aime. J'aime la banane. J'aime les carottes. J'aime les ananas. J'aime les oranges. J'aime les fraises. J'aime le chocolat. J'aime les pommes. J'aime les glaces. J'aime la pêche. J'aime la pêche. J'aime les abricots. Je n'aime pas. Je n'aime pas les bonbons. Je n'aime pas le brocoli. Je n'aime pas la salade. Je n'aime pas le poisson. Je n'aime pas les oignons. Je n'aime pas les tomates. Je n'aime pas les tomates. J'adore, j'adore. J'adore la pastèque. J'adore la mangue. J'adore la mangue. J'adore les raisins. J'adore les cerises. Les cerises. Je déteste. Je déteste. Je déteste le citron. Je déteste le citron. Je déteste l'ail. Je déteste l'ail. Je déteste les aubergines. Je déteste le piment. Le piment. Je déteste les haricots. Les haricots. Je déteste les haricots. Je déteste le radis. Le radis. Je déteste le radis. Après les verbes aimer, adorer, détester, préférer, on ajoute le devant un nom masculin singulier, la devant un nom féminin singulier, les devant un nom pluriel.
Okay. Now we are moving on to the group work. Okay. I'll be putting you all into two breakout rooms. Now I have 5 students in the class, right? So Jason is unable to speak today, so I will put Jason into one breakout room where there are another 2 more students so that you can listen, but okay, then you can learn something from that. So I'll randomly put you all into 2 breakout rooms. This is what you're supposed to do. This is the task. Okay. Each group will have to write 5 sentences using verb aimer or adore. That is to talk about likes. Okay. And 5 sentences to talk about dislikes. Okay. That is using ne pas aimer or détester. Okay. So you have altogether you have to make 10 sentences, and one has to present the 5 positive sentences, that is the likes, and one has to present the negative sentences, though that means the dislikes. Is the task clear?
Yes, madam.
How about the others?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let me put you all into breakout rooms. Now you will get an invitation, join that breakout room. Okay. Okay, you can join your breakout rooms. I will give you 10 minutes for this task. Jason, Prastonia, you can join your breakout room. Prastonia and Jason, join your breakout room. Jason, you can join your breakout room.
Recording in progress.
Okay, I think all of you are here. Hmm? So did you make your 10 sentences? Did you make your 10 sentences?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So Lasandi is with Situmi, right? So
Yes.
shall we first check your group's sentences?
Sure, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So the ones that you have written, can you share it on the screen? If not, I won't be able to correct the mistakes, no?
Oh my God.
I wrote it in the book.
That's okay. Take a picture and just share it on the screen. Is it possible?
On my laptop.
Hmm? Will that be possible, Sandeep?
Wait, man, I'm in my laptop.
Difficult to share. You don't have WhatsApp on your laptop.
Yeah.
Okay. Then take a picture and send it to me on WhatsApp. Now, Lasandhi and Situmi, both of you, you will have to send your 10 sentences to me on WhatsApp before you present. So that if there's anything I can correct. Okay. And Prastonia and Amali, you all send your sentences as well.
Okay.
One group member can send all 10. Okay. Not that both of you have to send the same thing again. Just one person send it to me.
I sent her.
Okay. Lasandhi, I received. Okay. So who's working on Amy and who's working on the testing?
I'm in
Okay, Situmi, can you present your sentences?
Shamla dance. Shamla chocolate.
Chocolat.
LM la lectio. LM la banane. Nous aimons le coca.
Okay. Lasandhi?
Je déteste la fromage. Il déteste la salade. Elle déteste la glace. Elle déteste les
Tomat.
tomates. Nous détestons le poisson.
Okay. Okay, good job. Okay. Amali and Amali, I received only Amy. Where is the testing?
Ma'am, we do share like 5, 10 sentences, like
Okay.
Like-
So, Prastonia, can you send your sentences then?
I did, ma'am. UNEMPA.
Yeah, that's okay. The negative ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can take a picture of that one and send me.
Okay, sure, ma'am.
Before you present, you send it to me because if it is grammatically wrong, the whole thing is wrong. That's fine.
Oh, one second, ma'am.
Prastonia, I haven't received your sentences yet. Okay, I received. Okay, so Amani, can you start?
Can you, can
Yeah.
Temle film Shimla banani
Jemla Banan,
banan Shemle enfant
j'aime les enfants.
Shemle enfant
Non, j'aime les enfants. Les enfants.
les enfants nous aimons les
Vacances.
wagons Shame les animaux
J'aime les animaux.
j'aime animaux
Non, j'aime les animaux.
j'aime les animaux
Les animaux.
les animaux
Okay, Prastonia. Prastonia.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Je n'aime pas l'autobus. Je n'aime pas les
Je
bruits.
n'aime pas l'autobus. Je
Je
n'aime
n'aime pas l'autobus.
l'autobus. Okay.
Je n'aime pas les bruits.
Mhm.
Je n'aime pas les bruits. Je n'aime pas les corbeaux. Je n'aime pas la pluie.
Okay. So both the groups have understood the task and you have done well. So now we can move on to the next part of our lesson, that is filling a form in French. Okay. Let's move on to that. That is page number 2 in your unit 4. Okay. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, for your A1, DELF A1 exam, the first question of your writing test is to fill in a form in French. Okay, we'll be doing a lot of filling the forms in French later. Okay, and this is just an introduction to it. Okay, so you will get forms with different fields to fill in. You get usually 10 fields to fill in that particular question. So over here, I'm just going to take you through the very first form that we are going to fill in. Okay, over here, there is a description of a person. Looking at that, we are going to fill in the form. Okay, so before moving on to the description, I'll be taking you through the fields of the form over here. Okay, so the first one is no. No, you can see where I'm keeping the cursor, right? No. This one. Okay. No. What is no?
Name.
No is the surname. Okay, your family name. Always, if you have no, you have to fill in the form with your family name, with your surname. Okay. Nom is the surname. Then the next field is prénom. Pronounce it with prénom.
prénom
No.
Prénom. Prénom is your calling name, your first name. Okay. Next one, nationalité. Nationalité.
nationalité
Nationalité.
Nationalité.
Nationalité is nationality. Okay. The next field is ville. Ville. Ville.
Ville.
ville
Ville. Ville means town. Town. Okay. Next one is Ash. Ash.
Ash.
Ash means you know this. Age. Next one. État civil.
État civil.
État civil.
État civil means civil status, whether you're married or unmarried. Next is nombre d'enfants.
Nombre d'enfants.
Nom.
Number of children. Okay. Next one, profession. Profession. Profession.
Profession.
That's the job. Okay. Next is passe-temps.
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 Passe-temps, hobbies.
Passe-temps.
Hobbies. I'll pronounce the fields once again. Nom,
Nom.
prénom,
Prénom.
nationalité,
Nationalité.
ville,
Ville.
âge,
Âge.
état civil,
État civil.
État civil.
nombre d'enfants,
Nombre. Nom.
nombre d'enfants,
Nombre. Nombre.
profession,
Profession.
passe-temps.
Passe-temps.
Now, in this context, what are we going to do? We are going to read this and fill in this form. So, first of all, let's read it. You read it with me, okay? Read it after me. Bonjour, je m'appelle Sylvie Pichon.
Bonjour, je
Bonjour, je m'appelle Sylvie Pichon.
J'ai 34 ans.
J'ai
Yo tengo 14
Ans, ans,
14. 14.
4 ans. Et c'est silent.
14.
Je suis française.
Je
Je
suis
C'est français.
France.
Je suis française.
Je suis
C'est
français.
français.
Not from case. Now you have to listen. Listen and hearing are two different things. If your ear is trained to hear, that means tell whatever you just hear, that's not working out. For a language, we need the skill of listening. Okay. Now, did I pronounce it as from case? No. But someone pronounced it as from case. That means the ear is not tuned to listen. Okay. You just hear whatever, you say whatever. That's not working out. Active listening means you have to listen to what you know. Hearing is the ability. Listening is sending that message to the brain and processing. Okay? So, je suis française. Je suis française.
Je suis français.
C'est français.
Je suis française.
Et j'habite
Et
Et j'habite
à Strasbourg,
à
à Strasbourg,
Strasbourg,
dans l'Est de la France.
dans
dans
la
l'est de la France.
La France.
Dans l'Est de la France.
Dans l'est de la France.
La.
Je suis mariée.
Je
Je
suis
suis
mariée.
mariée.
J'ai un enfant.
j'ai
Je
un
suis
J'ai
un
un
enfant.
enfant.
Je suis médecin.
Je suis
Je suis
médecin.
médecin.
J'aime le tennis et voyager.
J'aime
J'aime
le
tennis
tennis et
Voyage.
voyage.
Okay. So let's go part by part what actually this means. Okay. I think you should be able to understand at least 70% of what is mentioned in the text, but some words you don't know. So let's go through. Bonjour. What is bonjour?
Greeting.
Hello. Je m'appelle Sylvie Pichon. What is Je m'appelle Sylvie Pichon?
My name is.
My name is Sylvie Pichon. That's right. Okay. J'ai 34 ans. J'ai 34 ans or j'ai 34 ans. What does this mean?
I'm
Eight.
34.
34.
34.
Yes, I'm 34 years old. Je suis française. Maybe you don't know this. Je suis, I am. Je suis française. I'm French. Je
Yeah,
suis
you don't know it yet.
française. Je suis française. Okay, française means French.
French.
Et j'habite à Strasbourg. What is j'habite? I live in, no, I live in Strasbourg. Strasbourg is a city in France. Strasbourg. Okay. Dans l'est de la France. This, of course, you don't know. Dans l'est means in the east. Dans l'est means in the east. De la France of France. In the east of France. So, Strasbourg is situated in the east of France. In the eastern France. Okay. So, dans l'est de la France, in the east of France. That's what is mentioned there. Okay. Je suis mariée. What is je suis mariée?
I'm married.
I'm married. J'ai un enfant.
Oh,
You know this. I have a
From
child. I have one child. Okay, I have a kid. Je suis médecin. This you don't know. I'm a doctor. Médecin means doctor. Médecin, doctor. Then she speaks about her hobbies. J'aime le tennis et voyager. I like tennis and traveling. Voyager means traveling. Now, we discussed what the description spoke about. We discussed what is there in the fields. Now, you know how to fill in a form, right? When you say no, you don't write Je m'appelle Sylvie Pichon. You write only the surname. And when you say prénom, you write only the calling name. When you write nationality, you write only the nationality. So like this, can you fill in this form? Then after that, we can discuss. You don't have to send this to me. Once you're done, you can raise your hand so that I can see that you're done. And then we can fill in the form together. Does that sound good? Does that sound good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So once you're done, you raise your hand, or if you don't have that option, you let me know that you're done. Okay. Okay, Lasali is done. Let's wait for the others, Lasali. Mali is done. When Prastonia, Sitami are done, you let me know. Okay. Sitami, are you done?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So then let's fill in the blanks. So no. What can we put for no? Kelele no.
Pishon.
Pishon. Pishon. Kelele preno. What is the preno?
Sylvie.
Il. Nationalité
Française.
Français.
française. I'll add the accent at last. Okay. Ville.
Strasbourg.
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 Strasbourg. Ash.
From.
Dans de France.
On. On. État civil.
Mary.
Marie.
Marié. Okay. I'll add the accents later. Nombre d'enfants.
Un.
Honor.
Un. Okay. Profession.
Medic.
Médecin.
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 I'll add the accents. Passe-temps, le tennis et voyage.
Voyage.
Now, did you feel it like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, let me add the accents for a complete answer. Okay. So this is how the answers look like. So are these correct? In your answer, are those correct?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so we are done with lesson 4. Can you go through the entire lesson? Now, what we did last week, what we did today, and see whether you have any question to ask before we move on to lesson 5. So next week, there is no extra cute. It's going to be lesson 5. Okay. Let me know whether you have any questions to clarify, anything to clarify before we move on to the next. I'll give you 2 minutes to read. So seems like no question, no? Because no one is asking me. So that means all good. So then let's move on to lesson 5. As I told you, next week there's no extra tude. It's going to be lesson 5. Okay. Let me know whether you can see the screen now.
Yes, madam.
Okay. So this lesson is a grammar lesson. Okay. There is a vocabulary part involved also later. That is for next week. Le verbe avoir, le verbe être. Verb avoir and verb être. That is verb have and verb be. Okay. So after this lesson, you'll be able to use the affirmative form of verb have and be in French, form negative sentences, form interrogative sentences, and there's another competency. You'll be able to speak about your family. Okay. So that is done next week, not today. So today we are moving on to this verb have. Okay. So we have two main pillars of verbs in French. Two main pillars of words. Okay. Without which we cannot do anything at all in French. Okay. That is called verb avoir. Okay. Avoir and verb être. Okay. In English, it's verb have and verb be. Okay. Without which we cannot do anything at all. Okay. So before starting present tense, now this is present tense. Okay. I'm teaching you verb avoir, how to put verb avoir into present tense and verb être into present tense before working on any other formation. Unlike English, in French, we have a lot of formations of present tense. So for A1, we have only present tense mainly. Okay. And there's another small tense called future question. So those are the two tenses that you have for present tense, but for your A1. Okay. But however, we start with verb avoir and verb être because these two words are the two main pillars of verbs, as I told you. You can't do any other tense also without these two words in present tense. So we have to know these two words very well. They have to be on your fingertips. Whenever we use them, you can't look at a book or look at any formation, but wherever you have it, you can't do that. You have to know it by heart. Okay, it's that important. Now, the first verb is afa. Afa. What's the word? Afa.
Alpha.
Ava.
Afa. Okay. Alpha. Alpha means to have. Okay. Alpha means to have. So in today's lesson, what we are going to learn is how to conjugate verb alpha in present tense. Okay. Using the affirmative form, using the negative form, using the interrogative form. First of all, let's cover up the affirmative. Okay, affirmative means the positive form, the general, usual, positive way of saying I have, you have, he has, that. Okay, now we just studied the subject pronouns in French. I told you after je comes tu, after tu comes il and elle, then we have nous, then we have vous, then we have il and elle. That's the plural form. Now what we are going to do is we are going to match verb avoir word according to these subject pronouns, and what we are left with in green over here are the present tense conjugations of verb avoir. Okay, so let's learn the present tense conjugation of verb avoir. Okay, she. She means I have. I have. Okay. Next one. Tu as. Tu as.
You are.
Tu as. You have. You have. Okay. Tu as.
You are.
He has, she has would be il a, elle a.
Ella. Ella.
Illa. Ella.
Okay. He has, she has. Nous avons.
Nous avons.
Nous avons.
Nous avons means we have. Okay. Next one. Now, never pronounce this as nous savons. Nous savons is we know. A simple z and s can make a huge difference in the meaning in French. So, if there is z, pronounce z. If there is s, pronounce s. Now, over here we need z because it's a liaison, s and an a in two different words. So, it's a z sound. So, it's never nous savons. It's nous avons. Nous avons.
Nous avons.
Nous avons.
Avons.
Okay. Next one is vous avez. Vous avez.
Vous
Vous avez.
Vous avez. Vous avez. Vous avez.
avez.
Vous avez is you have. Okay. And if you want to say they have, ils ont. Elles ont.
Ils ont.
Ils ont. Elles ont.
Yes. Ils ont. Elles ont.
Elles ont.
Now, did you hear a z sound or a s sound when I pronounce ils ont, elles ont?
Ils ont.
Good. Yes. So, ils ont, elles ont. In verb avoir, it's all the z sounds. Nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. Okay. Now, you all practically think when you speak, you can't write and show, right? So, these particular little pronunciations show that this is verb avoir. Okay. And if you pronounce differently, it's another verb. Okay. So, you have to be very cautious when you pronounce. Okay, because now let's say when you speak French, you can't write it and show. So once again, let's go through the pronunciation. Chez,
Chez.
Yeah.
tu as,
Tu as.
il a, elle a.
Il a.
Elle a.
Nous avons,
Nous avons.
vous avez,
Vous avez.
ils ont, elles ont.
Ils ont.
Elles ont.
Elles ont.
Once again, chez,
Chez.
tu as,
Tu as.
Tu as.
il a, elle a.
Il a.
Elle a.
Nous avons,
Nous
Nous avons.
vous avez,
Vous avez.
ils ont, elles ont.
Ils ont.
Ils ont. Elles ont.
Okay. Now each one we'll have to pronounce. Okay, Lasandi, can I start with you?
Yes. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont.
Good. Prasdonia.
Chez. Tu as. Il a. Elle a. Nous avons. Vous avez. Ils ont. Elles ont.
Good job. Say to me.
J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont.
Good job. Amali.
J'ai. Tu as. Il a. Elle a. Nous avons. Vous avez. Ils ont. Elles ont.
Good job. Okay, so now all of you have understood the pronunciation. That's very good. Now we are moving on to the uses of verb avoir. How to use now. We have studied the affirmative form of verb avoir. How are we going to use this in context? Okay, so that is what we are going to study. I'll make it a little bit bigger. This verb is used to speak about what one has. As the verb says, to have. Okay, the verb speaks about what someone owns, right? What someone has. Okay, or to speak about one's age. Let's move on to that a little bit later. Now, if you want to speak about someone's ownership or someone's possession, we use verb avoir to talk about what one has, because verb avoir means to have. Okay, have a look at the example 2 to talk about what one has. Okay, so what we do is, now we've studied verb avoir, chez, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. The conjugation of verb avoir, and then we can use, now usually if you are to speak about what someone has, now let's say I'm talking about me having a house, okay? I'm talking about a house that I have, but is it Is it the only house in the whole wide world? Don't the others have houses? They do or they don't?
They do.
They do. Okay. So then it's not that I have the only house in the whole wide world, right? I have a house. So what am I using? I'm using article ande. Okay. That is anyonde. Okay. So if you're speaking about any of the possessions that any other person also might have, I will use anyonde. But if you are speaking about something very, very specific that anyone else does not have, I will use article defini. But in 99.99 cases, most of the cases, we have to use article ande. That is anyonde. Okay. So have a look at these sentences. Il a deux enfants. Il a deux enfants.
Il a des enfants.
The enfants.
Il a deux enfants. Deux enfants. You have to do liaison. Il a
Deux
deux
enfants.
enfants.
Il a deux enfants.
What does this mean? He has, we know the numbers,
Okay.
Two
two
children.
kids,
Two children.
two children. Okay, he has two children. Next one, you should be able to figure this out also because last week we learned this. How can we read this sentence?
J'ai un maison.
J'ai un.
J'ai
Je-
maison.
je-
J'ai une maison. J'ai une
Une
maison.
maison.
J'ai une maison.
Meaning,
I have a house.
I
I
have
have
a
a
house.
house. I have a house. Okay. Now moving on to the next usage. To speak about someone's age. Now this is a little bit of a confusing scenario because in English we use verb be to speak about someone's age, right? We say, I am 18 years old, he is 35 years old, she is 42 years old. Now we use verb be, okay? But in French, we use verb have. Okay, so when you translate, you can't change the structure of English and translate it as you have 23 years old. That doesn't make sense in English. So you translate it as you are 23 years old, whereas in French, if you're supposed to write, you will use verb avoir. Did you understand? You got it?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, madam.
So have a look at this example. Tu as 23 ans. Tu as 23 ans. Tu as 23 ans.
You are 23 ans.
You are 23 years old. Hmm? Il a 13 ans.
Il a 13 ans.
He is 13 years old. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a small task to check whether you understood this. I want you to make 2 sentences from speaking about someone's age, 2 sentences to talk about what one has. And you write those 2 sentences. So that means altogether 4 sentences. Take a picture and you send it to me on WhatsApp and get them corrected. Can you do that?
Madam, can you explain again?
Yeah.
Repeat.
What I want you to do is, I want you to make 2 sentences from the first one that is speaking about someone's age, 2 sentences about talking about what one has. So altogether there are 4 sentences that you have to make and take a picture and you send it to me on WhatsApp.
Okay, madam.
Okay? Is the task clear with everyone?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Okay. Once you're done, you send me your answers. Amali and Prastonia, send me your answers. So all of you have sent me your answers. Now we are moving on to the next part, which is the question form. Okay, the question form of verb. Now, if we are to turn a verb into the question form, what we do is we invert the subject pronoun and the verb. Okay, so the verb comes first and the subject pronoun is inverted with the help of an hyphen. It's a hyphen. This one, we put the again hyphen. Okay, so you invert it with a hyphen. Okay, and definitely you have to add your question mark. You have to add a question mark. That's a must. Okay, so it's the same conjugation. It's just that the verb is inverted with the subject pronoun. The verb comes first and the subject pronoun follows it. Okay, with the help of a hyphen and a question mark. You got it? Is it clear?
Madam, can you explain again?
Yes. If you want to turn the verb into a question, okay? If you want to turn the verb into a question, the verb comes first. Now, normally in the conjugation of verb, it was a subject pronoun which came first, right? She, tua, ila, ella, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, ils ont. The subject pronoun was placed first, then followed the verb. Now, if it is a question, what we are doing is the other way around. We are taking the verb in front and you invert the verb and the subject with a little hyphen over here. Is that clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
How about the others?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then, since it's a question, you have to add a question mark. Okay, punctuation marks are needed. Okay, so if you want to say have I, if you want to say have I would say ish, ish, ish,
Which?
ish. Okay, have I. Ish means have I, or do I have? Okay, aren't you?
Thank you.
Aren't you?
Are you?
Aren't you means have you? Are you? Have you? Okay, or do you have? Now, if you're putting il and il into the question form, you can't write like this. I'll show you. Okay, you can't write it like are il. Like this, you can't write. Why? A is a vowel. Okay, this is a one-lettered word. If we cut and chop this, what are we left with? Nothing. Okay, and if I cut and chop this, what am I left with? Only L. So therefore, what we do is we add a T and another hyphen here to make the pronunciation easy. Okay, Atil, Atel.
Atil, Atil.
Has he or does he have? Does she have? Atel. Has she? Atil has he? Atel has she? Okay. If I want to say, do we have or have we say avonu. Avonu.
Avonu.
Avonu. Do we have? Okay. Avevu. 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 Do you
Ave-
have? Okay. Or have you? Okay. Until, until.
On,
Until, until.
Until,
until,
Have they or do they have? So once again, let's pronounce ish,
ish,
il,
atiu,
atiu,
atil, atel,
Atil,
atil,
until,
avonu,
Avonu,
avevu,
ave,
Avevu,
until, until.
Until,
until.
Until.
Okay, so this is the question form of verb alpha. Okay, so if you want to ask now for an example, do you have animals at your place? For an example, I have given an example here. Avevu, avevu,
Avevo,
desanimo,
Desanimo,
Desanimo, Chezu.
Shevu.
shevu means at your place. Do you have animals at your place? Okay. The next question is, do you have an English friend? Are you
Atiu.
atiu,
un ami anglais?
anami,
Ami Anglais.
Anglais.
Are-tu un ami anglais?
Atiu anami anglais.
atu, anami, anglais.
Okay. So, did you understand the question form?
yes,
Can I give you a small activity? I want you to translate these sentences, okay, into French. Okay. So, you can use your dictionary. Okay, translate these sentences into French. You have to put them into French. Once you're done, send them to me. Now, if you write the answers without a question mark, it's not correct. Okay. Amalia and Situmi, send me your answers. Amalia, are you done? Amali? Amali? Amali, can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, are you done?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Send your answer. Okay, receive it. Okay, I have sent all of your corrections. Now we are moving on to the negative form. Okay, now that we have discussed the negative form previously, this is quite easy. You will understand. You know what the negative form is now. We add "n" and "a" on the either sides of the conjugated verb. And if the verb starts with a vowel, we don't add "n", we add "n". Okay, we know this already, right? Because we just now discussed this when it comes to ne me pas. So if you want to say I have not, it's je n'ai pas. Je n'ai pas.
Je n'ai pas.
Je n'ai pas.
Je n'ai pas.
I haven't. Okay. Tu n'as pas.
Tu n'as
You haven't. Il n'a pas.
il n'a pas.
He hasn't. Elle n'a pas.
Elle n'a pas.
She has.
Elle n'a pas.
Nous n'avons pas.
Nous n'avons pas.
We haven't. Vous n'avez pas.
Vous n'avez pas.
You have. Ils n'ont pas.
Ils n'ont pas.
They haven't. Elles n'ont pas.
Elle n'ont pas.
They haven't. Okay, once again. Je n'ai pas.
Je n'ai pas.
Tu n'as pas.
Tu
Tu
n'as
n'as
pas.
Il n'a pas.
Il
Elle
n'a
n'a pas.
Elle n'a pas.
Elle n'a
n'a
pas.
pas.
Nous n'avons pas.
Nous
Nous
n'avons
n'avons
pas.
pas.
Vous n'avez pas.
Vous
Vous
n'avez
n'avez
pas.
pas.
Ils n'ont pas. Elles n'ont pas.
Ils
Ils
n'ont
n'ont
pas.
pas.
Elles n'ont
Ils n'ont pas.
Okay, so this is the negative form conjugation of verb alpha. Now we are moving on to making sentences. Now I told you most of the times, if we are to talk about something that we have, we use article undefinite, that is onion they. If we turn the sentences into the negative form, onion they will have to change into the in the negative form in French. Why does it happen? I don't know. Because it's a rule in French. Okay. So onion they will turn into the in the negative form. That's a grammar rule in French. So if you use it with verb alpha, onion they will have to turn into the. Have a look at this sentence. J'ai une voiture. J'ai une voiture means we have a car. Now I have to say I don't have a car if I'm to put this into the negative form. So j'ai becomes je n'ai pas. Ne and pas will surround the conjugated verb. Je n'ai pas. Rather than saying une voiture, I have to say the voiture. Une voiture will change into the because it's one out of onion they. Okay. So je n'ai pas de voiture. Did you understand this? Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
How about the others?
Yes.
All good.
Yes.
Okay. So whenever you have a affirmative sentence with onion they, if you put it into the negative form, the onion they will change into the. Okay. But if there's no onion they in the sentence, like the second sentence, j'ai quatre mains. J'ai quatre mains means I have 4 hands. Now I need to say I don't have 4 hands. So je n'ai pas quatre mains. Je n'ai pas quatre mains. I don't have 4 hands. So then quatre, since there's no onion there and there's quatre, I'm not changing that into the or whatever it is. Okay. But if you have onion there, it changes into the in the negative form. Okay. Now we are done with the verb alpha, negatives, affirmative, and the interrogative. We are to do more activities in the next class with these, but today we did cover the theories of verb alpha. Now, can you go through these 3 parts and see whether you understood the theories? So from in the next class, I'm starting with the activities and then moving on to verb alpha and talking about the family. So for the next week, there's no extra tute. Can you go through and tell me whether everything is clear? Do you have any questions? Okay, then seems like no. So we are calling it a day. Okay. Next week, as I told you, it's the same tute. We are working on verb alpha, activities, and verb A.
Recording stopped.
So then let's call it a day. Au revoir. À la semaine prochaine.
Au revoir, madame. Merci.
Voilà.